Go live. Okay, alright. Uh, sorry for the late start. My microphone seemed to, break down for some reason. Had an echo and everything. So, looks like it's working now. If you can't hear me, let me know. Thank you for joining, for those who joined. Let me open up the stream on YouTube because, I want to see how it's working. I think it's this one, right? Hold on. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's live. Can I hear myself? Yeah, I can hear myself. Nice. All right. Let me know if the music's a little too loud. I'm putting on, some of you might recognize this one. Eccentric Detective from a video game called Lucid9. Yeah, thank you for joining. Actually, I wanted to quickly answer something somebody asked on the YouTube channel. I think 2 questions, actually. Or it's probably from the same person. Where is that? Let me keep this open just in case I need to fix something. Forgive me, this stream might be a little scuffed. It's been a while since I've actually streamed anything. I've been meaning to, especially on my personal channel. But, yeah, I haven't had the time for much of anything, honestly. Yeah, familiar game. I wonder what Lucid9. I heard about it. Okay, so alright, so No Time asked yesterday. Sorry for the late reply, by the way. Just a small question to help me understand. What is Lucid9? What is Inciting Incident? Is it just a sub-name for the Lucid9? Or just the actual version installment? Maybe just a specific route. Yeah, that's a little... It might be a little confusing, especially for people who don't know, like, visual novels. But, Inciting Incident is basically, like, just the first part. So it's Lucid9 Inciting Incident. But, like, the whole game, it's just called Lucid9. Just with the common route and the routes. So the common route is, like, basically what you get in Steam. It's basically everything. And then the heroine route's kind of like... I don't want to say it's like a sequel, because it's just a continuation of the game. So you get to see the story from, like, one of the heroines' perspective. So one of the girls, Misaki, and, like, all the other ones. And it's just like a continuation of the story. It's not really like Part 2, Lucid9 Part 2. Act 1, exactly, yeah. I'm not sure why the chat is really skinny on my thing here. Hold on. Yeah, it's part of the game between the beginning and the end, yeah. Okay. And then there's another one. I think it was basically the same question. So we all know the team Miku is the best. I wonder who Miku is. Who is this Miku they're referring to? Alright, so a couple of questions here that I wanted to answer. It's a month late. I'm so sorry. So what do you mean when you say the true route is only half of the heroine route? So that, I might have explained it a little weird during the last stream. But when I mean by, like, half of the heroine route, I mean in terms of length. So, like, the heroine route is estimated to be around, like, I totally forgot what it was, like 5 hours-ish? So, like, the true route would be, like, half of that in length. Does that mean that I should keep choosing the same girl for one run in order to get the true route? No. Basically, how we're planning it right now is just to, like, have the reader read every route to get to the true route. A lot of visual novels do the same thing, where you have to read the entire story to get to the true ending. I think Steins Gate is somewhat similar to that. At least, like, how we're doing it. No, actually, it's a little different, but it's kind of like that. But you don't have to, like... Basically, you just have to read everything to get to the true route. It's kind of like a mystery novel, you know? If you want to find out who the killer is, you just have to read the entire book to find out. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about like choices or anything in terms of that. Maybe for like the heroine routes, yeah, you might have to do that because you get like bad endings and bittersweet endings and stuff like that. Elizabeth, best girl. Yes, I can't say anything. I have to love all the girls, honestly. Let me read chat really quick. So it's like a series of circuits with multiple switches. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so I think there was another one they wanted to ask. Would that mean I would not get the true route then? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I really don't like spoilers, and I fear. And then nobody likes spoilers. Spoilers suck. Yeah, so basically, you'll know when you're on the true route. I think we might have like some kind of not a cutscene, but like indication that you're gonna be on that. Kind of like how we have the heroine routes, that sort of thing. And no, not the heroine routes, the heroine prologues. I mean. Okay. Yeah, I think that was basically it. Yeah, thank you for doing Lucid9. It was my first visual novel, and you guys hooked me because of that. Thank you for reading Lucid9. It's a decade in the making, but we're trying to get it finished. It's a lot of work. So today I wanted to talk a bit about the Kickstarter. So last stream it was basically like a Q&A, but for like general stuff. So we didn't really go into the specifics for the Kickstarter. We just kind of talked about like development and stuff. So today I just want to get a little bit into that and talk about like the type of rewards that we're thinking about. The price tiers, it's still like in the drafts. We're not quite set on the price tiers just yet, and we have a couple ideas for the rewards. But if you guys have any ideas for rewards, feel free to let us know and we'll add them. Honestly, to be honest, this is my first time actually like putting together a Kickstarter like this, especially this one this big, because there are a lot of people involved, and a lot of people means like a lot of money, basically. So we have to pay everybody fairly and get all that sorted out. And it took quite a long time to like message everyone, the artists, the writers, the composers, about their rates, about contracts, and sorting all that out, and then coming up with some sort of like funding goal. And it was really tough for us because we had to determine a funding goal that wasn't too large but not too small, where like we wouldn't be able to afford shipping and like taxes and funding, paying people and stuff like that. And so it took a while, but I managed to message everybody about that, and we currently have a funding goal of, I believe, 35,000 without taxes and shipping costs. So I think it's probably a little on the high side, judging from like other visual novels that I've seen, but it's not. I think it's not too high. Probably a little achievable. I think Lucid9 fan base is like really they're really dedicated, and I can't thank you guys enough for like following us for this long. And it's really tricky for us, especially because like it's a free project. It's been a free project, and with this Kickstarter, it's still going to be the final game is going to be free still. No, you didn't really have to pay for it, but that also makes it a little difficult for us because we have to determine rewards, and it has to be consistent with keeping it free for people to read. So we can't offer rewards like, well, if you pay this much, then you get the game, but everyone's gonna get it for free, So we had to come up with a couple ideas for the rewards for digital stuff that wasn't necessarily about that. Oh my god, that is so white. So plain. Alright. So we have today I wanted also to share the Kickstarter draft. There's a couple of things that we still need to do, but I'll go ahead, I can't talk right now, and share it. And people should be able to leave comments. Let me just find the link. Where is it? I think I put it in the chat somewhere. Yes, it should be this one. Copy link address. So I'll put it in the chat, see if it shows up here. Sign in. I am signed in. What? Let me do it on the actual Google account. I don't know. It won't let me do it from Streamlabs. Okay. So this is the Lucid9 Kickstarter campaign draft, I want to say. Let me just share it. And then make sure I didn't put any personal stuff. Like, sometimes I kind of mix everything together for that. I don't think I did. Let me check. Let me double check. But I think it's looking pretty snazzy. Honestly, it was a pretty difficult finding out, just looking through the other Kickstarters for like visual novels and like kind of like using that as an inspiration. Because there aren't that many indie visual novels on Kickstarter. There's a couple of them, but not a whole lot. Alright, so it looks fine. I got the team, I got the rewards, stretch goals. And I'll go through this like in order so people can give it a look. Alright. Okay, now I'll put it in the chat. Let me just exit this one. I'm gonna get confused. Lucid9 Kickstarter campaign draft. There you are. Nice, it gives the link. I was afraid YouTube would nuke it for some reason. Alright. Let me double check. Yeah. Alright. I suggest you guys release some gameplay footage or demo at the same time. Yeah. I actually had planned on creating a new trailer for the upcoming routes. So I was looking for a video editor for that. I think I found somebody, but I still have to message them about it. But for that, I'll have to pay out of my own pocket. I have to ask them about their rates so I can determine how much it is to create one of those. I think it'll be simple. It's not like gonna have any like fancy animation or anything. Just regular gameplay. I guess we can put gameplay in that. Yeah. But we had a previous trailer that was really sick. Luna Chai made it, but the problem with that, we can't reuse that because a lot of the assets are old. We had like very old assets for like Yama and Hiko and Masato and everybody, and we can't reuse it because they're old assets. Plus, the girls are also like updated with new sprite art. But we do plan to have like a trailer to like hype people up beforehand. So for the Kickstarter, we have the page here. Let me just put the preview to see what everyone else is seeing, because it might be different from the editing thing. Alright, so let me see. So feel free to leave any comments here about anything really, about rewards, about rewarding, or if you want to see something specific on this page, or what have you. But big thanks to Euphony for our background artist for helping me out with the character introductions, because I tried doing it myself for like the graphics. I'm not a graphics person, far from it. Yeah. So big thanks to him for helping me out with that. I really love the design for that. So that was all him. And then we also had the new Yama CG. I don't know if we shared it anywhere. I think if you tuned into our artist's Twitch, she was actually streaming drawing it, and it's really, really good. I like it. Yeah, big thanks to her as well for like drawing this on short notice. I told her about it. I was like, hey, we kind of need like a CG to show everyone. She's like, yeah, sure. Just give me a little bit of time to make it. So we had the story. We kind of updated the what is it? The synopsis for it. So we have. I really love this art by Hellface too. The Yama one with the umbrella. It's probably my favorite one out of the whole project. So put the concept. So basically, what inspired it? I'm not quite sure about like the specific visual novels, because I know that Dia and Dan, the two project heads before, told me it was inspired by what was it? Ever 17, I think. But I'll probably just reward this to fix that or something. I don't know. But basically, it's like science fiction and, you know, thriller and stuff. We also have to consider that not everybody, you know, supporting this might not be familiar with the first part. So that's kind of the reason why we gave it, like, the Steam link here. So give the first part a try. If you like it, consider supporting us. And we reached 1,000 reviews on Steam with a 90% positive rating. That's nuts. It's crazy. Thank you so much for that. You know, when we first started this project, I never imagined it would have, you know, gotten this much of a reception. So we got that, the development. I have to include also the link to what's it called? itch.io. We'll have to do that. And then the story, we have the story here. We kind of rewarded things a bit from like the first part. It's not entirely like what we have on Steam, basically. And then we have like information about the routes, so people can understand it's not for like the first part, but like a continuation of the game. So we have the story, and then we have a little snapshot of the gameplay, basically, with the sprites, with Yahiko and Ari. And then we have the features. Over 40 hours of content. So basically, this might be a little confusing here, especially for people who might not know about visual novels. So I tried including this. So Lucid9 will have 4 routes and 1 true route. The way they're presented, so basically you read the common route, which is Lucid9 inciting incident, and then the heroine routes. The heroine prologues are kind of like part of the heroine routes. We just call them prologues because we released them like before we did the entire thing. And then we had the true route, which comes after that. The 30-day deadline, though, since the campaign might be theoretically encounter non-linear or delayed growth in terms of funding rate. Yeah, about that, you know, a lot of visual novels, a lot of Kickstarters in general have like a 30-day deadline. But the reason why a lot of people don't go to like 60 days is because, you know, it gives the sense that, oh, you know, I might have enough time from a backer's perspective, so they say. Well, I have enough time to support this project. Well, I'll probably just like donate later or some other time. And then the time comes and like it's kind of like too much time, basically. 30 days kind of gives like the sense of urgency. So like we only have 30 days. So if you can, please help share this project with people that you know. Get the word out. support us in any way that you can, whether financially or like word of mouth, and it kind of gives people the incentive to like support us quicker, I guess. Yeah, it's a psychological thing, but there's also like a statistic thing. I think Kickstarter even recommends on when you make one to do it on 30 days rather than 60. It's something that I'm still gonna look into, because you can do, it doesn't have to be 30 or 60, it can be 45 or whatever. But it's not really set in stone right now. It's just like a draft. Oh no problem. Are the player choices in part 2 going to be abundant? Right now, it's their choices, but not. What I can say is there are a lot more choices compared to Inciting Incident, and they have a lot more impact compared to Inciting Incident, because the first part, a lot of the choices only determine like the 2 endings. I think we only have 2 endings, and then like which heroine you get to see at the end. We still have to figure that out, because initially our plan was to have like the choices that you made in Inciting Incident, like if you wanted to hang out with Ari or Elizabeth, and you got to see her on the last day when he makes that phone call. Oh, I keep having voice cracks. When he makes that phone call, and goes to see them by the river, that would basically put you on their route, but we'll have to program that in, and I'm not quite sure how that's gonna work right now, especially since like we've changed some things, so we'll have to figure that out. But basically, the choices, there will be choices, and there will be more compared to the first part, and they'll have some weight. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why we couldn't have different endings. I guess it was a time constraint or something. But it was kind of jarring, especially in the last part, where like, well, the choices don't really matter that much compared, you'll get to see this girl later on, whatever. But if you make the wrong choice here, you are dead, buddy. And that was like at the final 5 minutes of the game. It's like, you better make the right choice, man. Otherwise. But yeah, hopefully we'll be consistent in that. I'll try to make sure about that. But yeah, features, 40 hours of content. Lucid9 will have 4 heroine routes. Okay, yeah, so explain a little bit about that. 40 hours is quite a lot, honestly. I think I'm trying to think of any other indie visual novels that are that long. I think Human Reignition Project, from what I remember, was that long, or somewhat close to it. I think the one made by the people who made what's that game called? Highway Blossoms. I'm pretty sure. But it's gonna be that long, 40 hours. Quite a long time. I think the common route is 10 hours, and then like everything, all the heroine routes are like around the same, and then the true route. So it's about 700,000 words in total, which is pretty significant, and kind of the reason why we're at 35,000 for the goal. Because it's such a large project, honestly. So an interweaving mystery. So like, you read all the choices, and then you get to the true ending, and I'll give you the answers that you're looking for. The branching choices, I talked a little bit about that. The large cast of characters. We actually have a lot of characters. I counted them on our Trello board, and there are about 21 unique characters that make appearances through the 5 routes. And some of them have more screen time in the routes than others. So like, to give you an example, so like in Misaki's, I think Masato shows up quite a lot in her route compared to like the other ones. I think a lot of visual novels do the same thing, where like characters show up in one route and they don't really show up in the other ones. Sometimes they do, but that's how it is. Having choices carry over between games could potentially be made easier by having something before the start where you reminisce and choose how you ended the first chapter and who you saw that day. Yeah, that's definitely one option. I think Via, one of the writers, did something kind of like that, where he did in the heroine prologues where you had like that scene with the doctor and such, and then you had to like take a pill. It's kind of like a transition, basically. So hopefully, I think maybe that should be enough. I think I'll have to go over with the writers to see how they feel about that. But I think that should be probably adequate enough to remind people, hey, remember this girl? You're going to be on the route. Free experience. We're trying really hard to make Lucid9 remain free for everyone, because basically our main goal, ever since the start, was to create a free visual novel for people to read and to introduce them into the VN scene, because there's so many great VNs that everyone should read, and it's just a really awesome genre. Basically, it combines writing, art, music, programming, all that. Animation as well. There are a lot of animated visual novels nowadays. And then we have the characters here. I won't go through every single one of them, but you can read them, and it has their updated sprites and a little information about them. It was actually supposed to be longer, but then I showed Ifoni the text, and he's like, "Dude, this is way too long. You gotta cut their summary short." So this is as short as we can make it here, and talks a little bit about like their personalities, their birthday, their age, and stuff like that. And then we have all the main characters here. We have Yama, Ishimoto, Mizuki Kazahaya, Elizabeth Oshiro, Ari Hiraga, Akira Karube, Yahiko Ikari, depending how you want to pronounce that, Masato Korigane, Natsuki Tanaka, Shigure Enomoto, and that's it for the main cast. There's still a lot of other characters as well, but they don't have as much, impact as these ones did, especially since these are the characters that came out in Inciting Incident. God, I'm thirsty. Okay, after that, we have the music. So here I tried selecting a couple of tracks that a lot of people really enjoyed. I think the most popular ones. So of course we have the main theme here. I still need to figure out how the hell to put like direct files to embed it, because apparently Kickstarter doesn't give you the option to have like direct uploads. You have to link it to like a YouTube thing or to like SoundCloud. I'm not quite sure why it does that. And I tried looking for like tutorials on that, and I couldn't find anything for some reason. I don't know why. And I tried asking a couple of my musician friends, and they didn't have any idea either. So I might have to ask Luna Chai, because I think she knows how to do that. Any mini teasers you can give about Lapse Psychoyama? Mini teasers. I mean, I want to say it's not really psycho. I guess I really wouldn't say that his personality completely changes and he's like a different person or anything. But he is much more emotionally volatile. He's still the same Yama. He's been through a lot of shit. So, but he's not like a different person where like completely changes personalities or anything. That's all I can say about that. Apologies for reading ahead, but I believe reward titles are mixed up. The item described in each title isn't unlocked until the next reward, if I'm reading correct. Yeah, it might be a little wonky right now because I haven't really looked at it that much, especially the rewards. I actually plan to have. I actually wrote somebody to ask if they could help give me a hand with that. But I'm still waiting to hear back. But yeah, the reward tiers, I'll have to fix that a little bit. There's still a couple ideas I want to put in. Hello, buddy. Thanks for joining. There's also appears to be a minor typo in the final pledge tier description. Typo. Final pledge. Final pledge. Oh wait, the description. Okay, hold on. I'm not sure. I'm looking at the editing page. I should leave this and look at the other one. Kickstarter's kind of weird. The way it's formatted. Okay. Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. All of this is gonna go through like I'm gonna have somebody look over to see if there's any typos or anything. Thanks for spotting that. I have to fix that in a bit. God, this is so blinding. So bright. So we have a couple of tracks here. We have the main track. We have the remix, which shows up during the Heroine prologues. We have Desolate Horizon. I think I shared this track on our social media and you can give that a listen. I really like this one. It's basically gonna play during times where it's like really intense scenes. We have Empty Eyes. It shows up in Ari's prologue. And we have the fan favorite, from what I can tell, Melancholy. Melancholy. Personally, I really like Heavy more, but all of them are really good. I could only put one though. And then we have Spear by Jan, and this one is really good too. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. So I had a couple of tracks here to play. I still need to figure out how to embed the files directly. I'll have to ask around for that. So we have the character art, and then here we have the new Yama CG. I won't say when it's gonna appear, but it will appear. I tried coming up with a CG that wasn't really spoilery, so I couldn't ask Galface to make any like heroine related ones, so I asked her to make one for Yama. And then we have the background art. And so we have the first background is for Lemniscate. Sure, some of you might be familiar with Lemniscate, and it has a little description down here about what they are and what they do. And then we have another one for WayForward. And then the last one is for the University of Isamu. And I think I might include one more. I'm not quite sure what though. But all of these will be appearing in the routes. And then we have the phone systems. I'll have to upload this because for some odd reason it has a really weird noise when it plays the video. Like a crackling sound. Not quite sure why. But it gives you a look at the animation for this phone system. And I think there might be a possibility to have an interactive phone. It's something that we've always thought about implementing, but you know, we're pretty tight on like time constraints, and so we had to like bench that idea. But if we have enough funding for this, we might be able to have like something interactive. So an example would be like, I think Steins Gate has something like that, and also that other visual novel that I love and I can't remember right now. Rewrite. So they both have something similar to that. It probably wouldn't be really too expensive because it would just be too much to implement, but something on that level I think would be pretty cool. Then we have the stretch goals here. So we have expanded art and graphics. So basically, all the art and graphics that we have now is going to be doubled. So more outfits, more backgrounds, more UI functions for like the thing that I was talking about for the phone, and a lot of more stuff, more CGs, and just gonna be doubled like that. And then the opening movie, I still need to add some details for this, but what I basically am planning is to have something. As much as I want something animated, I'm not quite sure how much that would cost financially, but maybe there might be a possibility to have an animated opening, even if it's like a short clip. But this would be playing probably before the heroine prologues. But it'll be like an introduction to like the routes. But I'll have to add more details to that. And the opening movie, there might be animation, or we might not have that, but it's gonna be basically like any other VN opening. Honestly, we might have that trailer that I mentioned, the new trailer that I'm going to have to ask around and look for a video editor. That might just be the opening. I'll have to see. That one's a little, not quite sure about that one. But then the full voice acting for Inciting Incident. This one is kind of a doozy because Inciting Incident is very, very long with a lot of characters, especially a lot of side characters because we never planned to have voice acting. So this would be for full voice acting and for Inciting Incident. So it's not 85,000 just for the voice acting, but 85,000 voice acting plus like the opening movie and the expanded art and graphics and the base funding goal. But voice acting was basically, I think, around 35,000. So we had to, while we wanted to have this like a part of the main Kickstarter, it was going to be a little too expensive because 35,000 plus another 35,000 is double right there. And so it would be a little harder for us to reach funding wise. So we had to like have a stretch goal for this one. And honestly, even if we don't meet this stretch goal, there's always a possibility to do another campaign in the future after, if we do manage to succeed in this one, to have another one for voice acting. We might get more support, especially if people play the full game and then see, oh yeah, I really want voice acting for this game. So, unrelated question to the game, but will there be any new Steam related stuff like animated Steam profile pictures or Steam backgrounds for Steam points? Honestly, I'm not too familiar with that because I use Steam, but I never like use that kind of features for any of my games. But I think Euphony is familiar with that, and he's an artist, so I can probably ask him about that to see if he has any time to do it. But it'll probably, if we do have something like that, it'll probably be after the campaign. So probably nothing soonish, but like later down the road, definitely a possibility. And then, while we tried coming up with a funding goal for the voice acting, I asked Jacob, and Jacob's helping out with the voice acting, and we can't really come up with a funding for like the heroine routes because it's still in development. We're not quite sure like how many lines of dialogue it's gonna have at the end, so it's gonna be something that we're gonna have to do later. So anything voice acting related is going to have to be for Inciting Incident for now. But the main cast, a lot of very talented people. We have people from games like Blush Blush, anime from Black Clover, No Game No Life, Genshin Impact. We have Daniel Acosta. We have can't remember. I'm very bad at remembering names right now. We made a couple of cast changes, but Daniel Acosta is the Yama Ishimoto. We have it on our staff page here, and then we have Debbie Gatton. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right, Debbie. Melina Rose as Akira. As Misaki. Debbie Gatton as Rui. Akira as Rebecca. Rebecca Perez as Akira Karube. Rachel Messer as Elizabeth. Caitlin French as Ari. John Wesley Go as Ahiko. Patrick Mealy as Masato. Michael Potok as Jiro. Katie Dagan as Natsuki. And Kathy Fouch as Shigure. And we have a lot more people as the other characters as well for the cast. But this is the main cast here. And they're all very talented people. And we also plan to do one of those trailers. We have it on our YouTube right now, but it's a bit outdated because some of the casts were recast. So we'll have to remake it, I think, and include Daniel and the rest in the new one. But the problem with that is just I don't have access to the old video file for the trailer thing. That was Luna Chai, but I think unfortunately all her data was lost. And that's pretty much nuked. So we'll probably have to do the video from scratch. And if the voice actors have their lines still, I'm not quite sure they might, but if they have the lines, we'll have to implement those lines into the video again. But basically, we'll probably have to redo the entire thing. And that's one of the things that I have here on my list to do in the next couple of months before the Kickstarter goes live. So basically, I have right here. Oh, I'll probably go after this later. I'll do this later. A couple more things to go over a little bit. So the rewards, if you have any ideas for potential rewards or if anything that you want, just let us know. I think our musician recommended t-shirts, so I'll probably look into that. It'd be pretty cool to have a Lucid9 t-shirt. I assume the partial voicing will be discarded if the voice acting stretch goal is reached then? Yeah, what we have right now on the website, we'll probably have to nuke that because, I don't want, it's probably going to cause issues, And, it's just common courtesy, I guess, since everyone else is going to be receiving funding for their stuff that they worked on Lucid9. Since they did the partial voicing for free, we're probably going to have to nuke it, so. But, it's, even if this doesn't succeed for the voice, if we don't reach that stretch goal, we'll probably do it in the future anyway. Hopefully it succeeds then, but we'll try to reach it this time around too. So we have a couple of ideas for rewards here. We have the backer kit, we have the digital sticker set, and I think this coming few weeks I'll have to message the artists about sorry, my throat is really dry. I'll have to message the artist about the stickers and which characters that they should put on. It might just be the main heroines, so Misaki, Ari, Rui, Akira, and such. Or we might do it the main cast for the boys and the main cast for the girls. We'll have to sort that out. But it'll be a sticker set, digital sticker set. And special thanks in the end credits. And then exclusive digital wallpaper. So we'll have wallpaper for phones, for computer screens, so at different resolutions. And I'll also, everything that we have here, I'll still have to talk to the artist to determine what exactly we'll have to put. but we'll have something not as a game asset, so like it won't be like a CG and you'll have the CG as a wallpaper. It'll be something completely different. You can probably still do that with the CG anyway and have it as a wallpaper. You can just like pull it out of the files anyway. And then digital art book. So it's basically like any other digital art book that people make. Probably wouldn't be too long. I'm not quite sure how long these art books are, but it'll probably be in the middle range, I think. And then we have early access. So if the pricing is, we're still gonna figure out the pricing, but early access, if you support us with this much amount of money, you'll be able to get early access to the game before it releases. And then we have some keychains, and it's kind of like the stickers. We'll have probably certain characters, and you can probably pick and choose which ones you want. Dizzy and Elphase. I think Elphase does keychains. I know for sure Dizzy does a lot of keychains, and she has her own store, and I definitely recommend checking it out. She has she does really nice keychains. I'll actually show you one that she made for me. Hold on. So the keychains will look like this. This is a character that she did for Rewrite. I think you can see it. It's probably too bright. Yeah. So I think Shizuru, I think her name is. I totally forgot. It's been a while since I've read it. But that's how it'll look. And I think she wanted to do acrylic charms, but we'll have to figure that out as well. And then the next one, are character prints. So basically, like, everybody knows what a character print is. So we'll have to determine the size of the character print and what it's going to be. But I think I also showed you guys. Megan won't be doing the character print Lucid9, but it'll be Dizzy or Elphase or Euphony, one of the three. But it'll be a character print of probably of a character of your choosing, or we might do it in sets. But we'll figure that out. And then exclusive access. This one, I think I had a description and I can't find it. But this one is basically you get to have access to some of our old files. So, like, what do they call them? Concept art for the characters. We have old drafts you can look through. We have a lot of old drafts that you can look through. So, like, you get a sneak peek at, like, what we initially tried to do in development. And you can check that out and see how much different it is from, like, the final product. I think Karawa Sojo does something similar, where they had like their old, they had like an old board that old website that you can go to, and they had like just all their ideas posted in like these forums, and you can read through all of it, and you can see like how the game shaped into what it was, and that was really interesting, at least for me as a developer. And so that's something that we're gonna have too. You'll get access to like our Trello boards, some of the Google Drive files, and some of the art and old music and stuff like that. So hopefully that's interesting enough. And then we had the funding breakdown. So it's just the funding. A lot of it's gonna go to like the writing and the art, because there's there's just a lot of writing and a lot of art, honestly. And then we have the music, we have the programming, and the contracts, Kickstarter fees, and rewards. So based on the recommendation, Kickstarter fees was like 10% and rewards was like 5%. But that's what we have for the funding. And then it's just a little bit about ourselves, how we came to be. We started the studio way back in 2014. It's almost a decade. It's freaking nuts. And we have the current management right now. And you can see everybody, and there should be links to their pages. I think I'll have to ask some of them for their websites, because there's a couple of them missing. But this is most of them. So we have why Kickstarter actually used the stuff we had written in our old blog post and just pasted it here because basically it explains everything. And then we have the origin of Gover Mecker, the comic book Elphase made. And, you know, honestly, I think it might be pretty cool to have another tier for, like, comics, I think. But I'll have to figure that out, because I really like these comics, and I really want to see more of this one. But she just hasn't had time to do some of them. And then the risk and challenges, basically, Kickstarters are new for us. We've never done anything like this, or at least I have never done anything like this. And, you know, as the one who's currently managing everything, it's just pretty overwhelming, honestly. And so I'm trying to do my best to, like, make sure everyone's paid fairly, and make sure all the funding pays for everything, for, like, taxes, and I don't get thrown in jail for tax fraud and stuff like that. So and making sure that everybody gets to their rewards on time, and making sure that development goes smoothly and there aren't any delays. Just a lot of stuff to consider, and you know, doing it alone has been pretty, you know, overwhelming a little bit. I've had a couple of some help, but, you know, still. Yeah, but basically, so I made a list here on my phone about some of the things that we still need to do before the Kickstarter goes live. So I want to say now, it's very likely that it's going to go live in January, for sure. I'm pretty sure, because we don't want to have it in the coming months, because one, the holidays are coming up, and usually if you start a campaign during the holidays, it's going to be conflicting, and, you know, people are spending time with their families, they're buying presents for their families, you know. It's just not the ideal time for it. And so January seems like, you know, a great starting point. The beginning of the year. It gives us, you know, clear view of, like, when things need to get finished. And also gives me enough time to, like, contact the remaining people to get the remaining assets all sorted out. And thirsty again. I think I am dehydrated. So the remaining things that I need to figure out before the Kickstarter goes live is finalize the rewards for the Kickstarter page. So I have to, like, make sure everything's sorted out for this. And I think the stretch goals are pretty much set. Unless you guys want to see something else for that, just let me know. Just leave a comment in the thing. But finalizing that, finalizing funding, which is pretty much, I think, done already. Finalize contract wording. There's a couple of things in the contract that I'll have to reword a little bit, because it doesn't quite fit with what we're going for, especially in terms of, like, copyright, because it's a free project, so copywriting is going to be a little weird. Deadlines, which should be, I think deadlines are going to be, so basically the plan I have in my head is start the project in January, the Kickstarter, have it conclude in February, and have the rest of the year to finish the game, and then ship out. I think we ship out rewards after the project is done, or I'm not quite sure if it's before or after. I'll have to look into that. Set deadlines. Oh no, I said that. And then we still have to send out the contracts. All the contracts are drafted up already, so it's just a matter of people signing it. So basically, I'll go through all of them again. Confirm tax information, blah blah. New trailer. Okay, so basically the four main ones is finalize the rewards. And then after that, send out contracts, new Lucid9 trailer, and update the voice trailer. And I think that should be it. At least the main ones. The little ones are like, I need for like the rewards here on the page, I have to put that into a graph because it just looks more visually appealing. But that's a minor thing. That's really easy to do. But basically, aside from the rewards, the actual campaign page, it's pretty much done. So that's our plan right now. It seems like a long way from January, but it's going to go very fast. And hopefully we'll have everything sorted by then. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about today. Just give you a little bit of update about that. If you have any questions, just feel free to let us know either here, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, doesn't matter where. Yeah, we'll try to hype up in the coming months, and during the holidays we'll try to think of some new like promotional stuff. Probably do more podcasts, I think. Probably another one with one of the voice actors, I think that'll be fun. Get people motivated to check out the voice acting for that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. It wasn't going to go specifically long today compared to last time, but that's the gist of it. So basically, all the boring stuff needs to be done now. Honestly, it was pretty fun creating this this campaign page. Just putting it all together, writing out all the stuff, and so basically it's just a matter of contracts, trailers, and what was the other one? Rewards. Yeah, contracts, trailers, and rewards, and that should be it. And yeah. So if anybody has any other questions, I think that should conclude today's stream. And I'll try to do another one with the voice actors or one of the writers or artists. If you want to see someone specific, just let me know and I'll let them know if they have time for it. And we'll try to do one in the coming months. Yeah, community interaction. I tried doing that a little bit on Twitter. I just feel like it's probably just me, but like every time I try doing something on Twitter, I'm like, if I do something unrelated to Lucid9, people are gonna be like, well, why are you not working on Lucid9 and you're tweeting about this unrelated thing, you know? But I'm probably just paranoid. I guess I should probably do more of that or something. But I'll try doing more Q&As, more podcasts, more maybe even, I guess, streaming fellow developers might be pretty good too. I do that on my personal channel. I don't know if it's something that I should do on this channel, but it's something I'll probably consider if people want to see it Twitter sucks. Yeah, sometimes it can. Sometimes it's pretty alright, honestly. You know, when I first started Twitter, I'm like, what the hell is Twitter? But ever since I've been using it, I'm like, I can't stop anymore. I'm always on Twitter. So, but yeah. All right, thank you all so much for joining me this morning, this night, this afternoon. Stream stuff would be hella good, like Lucid9 Lucid9 casts, plays games, or community lobbies with the devs. Oh yeah, community lobbies would be pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, I'll probably do that too. I have to write that down. Yeah, so have a good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I'm gonna go grab some food and eat, and I'll probably stream up my personal channel if you guys want to join in for whatever reason later on today. Probably some Apex or something. But yeah, I don't want to shill myself too much, but yeah, thanks you all for joining, and I'll try to have all this sorted out by January. Thank you all so much for being patient. I can't say that enough, honestly. I can't say that enough to my members as well, to everyone in Fallen Snow Studios and everyone helping us out. So it's just been so long in development, and I really, really want to get this finished. So, yeah, thank you. And I'll catch you next time. Bye. Bye.